Since 2006, Drew Brees has been the man in New Orleans. In his 15th season with the team, he's the all-time leader in just about every Saints passing category and has broken an extraordinary amount of NFL records over the past few years. Since 2016, Brees hasn't had a season of more than 4,400 passing yards and has turned into an elite game manager rather than someone that'll carry a team with 5,000 passing yards and 40 touchdowns over a season like he used to. Although Brees looked to have the same skill set but with limited pass attempts, it has become evident this season that Brees has clearly lost a lot of arm strength. The positives of playing someone like Brees is having someone that can read defenses as well as anybody. He is still very well respected amongst his teammates and will do anything not to lose you games either. However, there are some limitations with starting someone like Brees at this point in his career, which is ultimately what we're going to discuss in this video. With his lack of arm strength and velocity at 41 years old, Brees has to be almost perfect with his accuracy and anticipation just to give the Saints a chance to win against top-tier teams in the league. The Saints do sit at 3-2 and in first place in the NFC South, but with the talent on this roster, it feels like they should be better. They came very close to losing to the Chargers in Week 5, and in Week 4 at Detroit, they definitely benefited from a Matthew Stafford red zone interception, where they ended up winning by 6 points. Some evidence of Drew Brees' decline in arm strength can not only be proved by film, but that his ADOT, meaning average depth of target, dropped all the way from 7.1 in 2018 to 6.4 in 2019. He also went from averaging 3.8 deep balls thrown per game to 3 flat in 2019. When watching the Saints offense, you can tell it has become a much more conservative approach and an offense that does not offer too much upside with Brees under center. You can't really put Taysom Hill as a starter all game, but there is a man by the name of Jameis Winston who was once the first overall pick in the NFL just 5 years ago. After leading the league in turnovers in 2019, the Buccaneers failed to extend Winston and decided to go to a stable situation in New Orleans on a one-year deal. I'm sure Jameis did not expect to start for Brees being healthy, but if the Saints struggle enough offensively, would there ever come a point where maybe starting Jameis would benefit this team more than Drew Brees? Let's look at some examples so far from this 2020 season. Example number 1 is a play against the Chargers in the Monday night Week 5 matchup, and this could be an instance where the conservative style of Drew Brees may have cost the Saints a big play. The down and distance is 3rd and 10, so even if you complete a 5-yard drag route, it's going to end up short anyway. You can see number 16 Benny Fowler was open at midfield on a deep crosser, even with Brees having a very clean pocket. Example number 2 is a 1st and 10, this time at Detroit in Week 4, and he tries to take a deep shot for Alvin Kamara, which I commend him for. However, it was very inaccurate, and he had an open Traquan Smith breaking over the middle of the field. Example number 3 is a situation where having Jameis Winston definitely would have produced a better outcome. Jameis does offer some good rushing upside, and this is a situation on a 2nd and 9 against man coverage where someone like Winston steps up and rushes for a first down here. Brees goes for the last second throw, but throws it behind his receiver. Example number 4 is a 2nd and 5 at the Raiders, and they're in man defense while Brees once again has a pretty clean pocket. He has one receiver in the slot running an out route and another going deep down the left sideline. I know you want to pick up the first down here, but your receiver on the bottom, Traquan Smith, on the bottom of the screen clearly has a step, so why not trust your arm and make that throw there? Example number 5 is a play where Brees immediately went for the check down to his tight end rather than scanning the field. He had a really good pocket, and wide receiver Marquez Callaway could have been thrown open with good ball placement rather than settling for the no-gain dump off to tight end Josh Hill. While I gave out some examples of how Brees may be holding this team back, I still have to acknowledge that while looking through his 2020 film, that he's playing about as well as a pocket passer could in this offense. He's had some misses like any quarterback would, and maybe times where he should have taken deep shots like I showed before, but ultimately he's been good this year. There are 2 arguments that could be made. Number 1, that Brees is too conservative and holds this team back from making big plays and maximizing their offense's potential. Or number 2, that Brees is the perfect quarterback for a team like this that has a great roster and doesn't need someone who turns the ball over like crazy like Jameis Winston. You can be the judge of that, but my honest opinion is that Drew Brees won't get benched unless things get really bad. Brees and head coach Sean Payton have been together all the way since 2006, and while the NFL can be harsh on most, I don't see Brees' career ending because Sean Payton benches him for not taking necessary shots sometimes. Does Winston give them a better chance to win? I would say probably not in a neutral game script, but if the Saints ever get down multiple touchdowns in a game or even in the playoffs, then I don't think it's unforeseen to replace Brees with Winston due to his upside and potential to put up points more quickly. This should be Brees' last season, and if Jameis sticks around next year in New Orleans, he'll be in a great spot to be the heir apparent to Drew Brees in 2021. With the Saints looking like a playoff team and having to pick somewhere in the late 20s and hopefully for their sake number 32 in the draft, it would take a trade up in the draft to land a quarterback out of college. Maybe rolling with Winston is the way to go after Brees, but we shall see. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave in the comments who you think gives the Saints the best chance to win, and thank you for watching.